So we're going to talk about Chris Giovanni's Do I Have to Teach Reading? That was my book that I chose to read with my group. The three main ideas were that good questions, meaning arrives because we purposefully engage thinking while reading. So this means that we need to ask good questions before we go into the reading process. We need to have questions in our head already about what we want to know and to help facilitate a deeper meaning. That also means that good readers are going to ask their own questions based on their needs of a deeper understanding. So part of what she went into for this one idea is that if a child is a good reader, they're going to automatically come up with their own questions. They don't necessarily need the comprehension questions at the end of the chapter to help them with the comprehensive meaning. They are going to just do that on their own. Another big idea was that we need to uncover our own strategies for reading so that we can teach our students those strategies so that they can become good readers. If we understand how we read and what we use to teach ourselves or what we've used to teach ourselves, then it's going to be easier and super effective for us to teach our students that way. With that being said, we also can't expect students to get the material the first time. We have been doing this for such a long time, some of us, most of our lives, depending on when you started reading. So we can't expect the students to understand these strategies right off the bat. We need to give them lots of time and practice so that they can understand it the same way that we do. And it is important to improve, or teach something so that they can retain it. It's our job as teachers to make the purpose of the reading clear. The third main idea was that group work is an essential part of understanding literacy and growing in literacy. Chris Giovanni does talk about how it is difficult. There are very many struggles with group work, and that norms need to be established, models and scaffolds provided, and problems tackled when doing group work so that the groups can be successful in learning how to read and using the strategies. We want them to ask the questions or answer the questions or think about the questions. What do you wonder about the text? What do you wonder? What are some of your questions that you want to have answered? The one strategy that I liked from the book that I would use in my own reading groups would be to use sensory images to enhance comprehension or visualize reading. So sensory images are something like when you're reading, you get an idea of what something looks like, smells like, feels like. It's using your senses in order to help you read and understand the text. So this could be things like interpreting photographs or political cartoons, drawing symbols to remember vocabulary, writing music, listening to music that has something to do with the mood of the story, drawing illustrations from text, graphic organizers, again, creating songs, newscasts, or plays, changing text into cartoons. I really like the idea of students acting out something. So if they're reading a story and they don't really understand what's going on, or just if they're reading a story in general and you want them to really understand the comprehensive meaning, then you have them create a play. You use the same characters. They can either use puppets or they can use themselves, so then that way they understand what's going on and the main ideas of the story. I feel that sensory imaging helps students a lot. I know for me, I'm a very visual learner, very hands-on learner, so to me, when these things are being done, I'm able to learn a lot better. The instructional variables that I would have when doing this lesson would be the student's strengths. Are the students' strengths, do they have strengths in visualizing what the characters are feeling? Do they have a strength in visualizing what's taking place? They need to have a basic understanding before they're going to be able to do that. definitely you need to have an expectation level when you're doing this, to make sure, and you need to make sure that it's culturally appropriate. Some of your students may have cultural expectations that are much different than what you're understanding, so being respectful of that for each and every student is definitely necessary. And that's pretty much what my book was about. It's just all about good reading and how to use these 3 main ideas: how to ask questions of yourself, how to understand your teaching style so that you can be a more effective teacher, how to, use sensory imaging as well as other strategies to help a student comprehend a text a lot better, giving them plenty of time to make thinking visible so that they understand those strategies and can apply them, and that, we want to have them work together with a challenging task in order to be able to grow in their literacy comprehension. We also want them to reflect on their own experiences and expectations so that they're able to connect it to the materials that they are reading. And that's it.